Hey everyone, welcome to my favorite map where I always showcase new content in Farming Simulator 25. Today, I've got something special for you, because patch 1.11 has just been released, bringing as many as 18 new machines. What's important? We're getting them completely for free as part of the third free content update, which is by far the biggest one released in the game so far. But before we move on to the equipment itself, I have to warn you about one thing. After installing the update, you may notice temporary drops in frames per second and slight stuttering. This is completely normal since the game needs to recompile the shaders. You can even see it in this episode. There are some stutters, but don't worry, they disappear after a few minutes and the game runs smoothly. The first machine we got is the Lemken Juwel 6 MV plow. It's a rather compact plow, though not the smallest, because the only smaller one is the Pottinger Servo 25 with a working width of just 1.2 meters. The Lemken offers a working width of 2 or 2.5 meters, and in the 5-furrow configuration it reaches exactly 2.5 meters. It costs $16,000, the same as the Polish AGI-Pack, so the competition is direct. Interestingly, with the Lemken you can choose the mold boards, either classic universal ones or slatted ones. Personally, I prefer the slatted, but I think most players will go for the universal. Another fun detail is that the Lemken has a working speed of 13 kilometers per hour, while all other plows in the game work at 12 kilometers per hour. Maybe that's a typo, but for now that's how it's listed. The second factor is power demand. In the 5-furrow version, the Lemken requires 140 horsepower, while the AGI-Pack needs 160. In practice, that means the Lemken is easier to pull. I hook it up to my Deutz-Fahr, drive to the field and test it in action. It works as it should, a classic plow for field work, and you can even plow a road if you feel like it. A good choice for beginners and, above all, another option in the shop. The second new item is the Fliegl Vario Chassis Phi 2, a special trailer for a semi-truck that can carry containers. The trailer itself costs $29,000, and the only configurable option is the frame color. The containers are available in 3 lengths, 6, 9, and 12 meters, and you can add Lizard Logistics or Lizard Forest decals. Containers cannot be leased, they must be purchased, but here's the important detail. When selling wood in such a container, the money you spent on the container is refunded to your account. In practice, that means you don't lose anything by using this solution. The containers are for transporting logs and feature an auto-load function, which will make console players especially happy. Unfortunately, during tests I noticed a few bugs. To load logs, you have to open the rear doors, and sometimes a message appears saying the tool is attached and the container cannot be opened. Sometimes a reset fixes it, sometimes you have to remount it. The trailer itself has an adjustable frame length. It can be set for 20, 30, and 40-foot containers, but that can also be glitchy and doesn't always work correctly. Still, once you set everything up properly, the auto-load works and the container collects logs without issue. Overall, it's a nice addition and also a preparation for the upcoming Mercedes truck pack, which should arrive next week. The third new machine is the Krone GX AgriLiner 520. It's an off-road tipper trailer compatible with agricultural trucks such as the upcoming Unimogs. The body looks great, with 2 rear axles, and holds as much as 55,000 liters without a cover or 52,000 liters with a cover. Strangely, paying an extra $5,000 for the cover reduces capacity, but that's how it is in the game. The trailer costs $132,500 and is suitable for hauling almost anything. It looks modern and sturdy, though economically speaking, the Krone trailer still comes out better, with slightly more capacity for a similar price. Krone makes up for it with design and a better fit for the new agricultural trucks. Next is an entirely new brand, the Streumaster FW 212 TD Profi. It's a lime spreader with a unique feature. It has a built-in grab that allows it to load itself. It costs $92,000, has a large capacity, and works at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour, which is faster than standard spreaders that go 18. Operation is simple. Deploy the supports, open the grab, scoop lime from a pile, close it, and fill the tank. Each scoop holds 1,200 liters, so after a few moves, the spreader is full. Then you can head straight to the field and start spreading. This solution fits perfectly in realistic gameplay since you don't need an extra loader. One machine does it all. For me, it's one of the most interesting pieces of equipment in this update. Next up is a sprayer from the Berthoud brand, another new addition to Farming Simulator 25. It has a boom width of 33 meters and a tank capacity of 4,300 liters. It moves at 12 kilometers per hour while spraying. It directly competes with the Hardy sprayer, which has the same boom width and a 5,200 liter tank, but costs more. So the Berthoud has a slightly smaller tank, but a more attractive price. You can fill it with herbicide or liquid fertilizer. Keep in mind, if you're not playing with the precision farming add-on, spraying herbicide reduces yield by 10%, so that's something to consider. The sprayer folds and unfolds quickly, works properly, and simply adds another choice in the store. After that comes the Horsch Avatar 12.25 SD Seeder. It's a massive direct drill with a working width of 12 meters. You can configure it in different ways. Set the tank ratio between seed and fertilizer. It's a great alternative to the Lemken, since besides its large width, it supports direct seeding, meaning you can drill straight into stubble without prior cultivation. In practice, that saves a lot of time and equipment. Among the novelties, there's also a classic log trailer. Nothing revolutionary, just a simple trailer for loading logs with a loader and transporting them. Another useful option for forestry-focused farms. Now for something really big, the AGI-Pack returns, updated for Farming Simulator 25. It includes new silos and augers for grain handling. We're getting 4 new silos, with a capacity of 76,000 liters, 125,000, 501,000, and a giant one holding more than 5,432,000 liters. The 500,000 one works like a standard silo. Just drive up and unload. The other 3 work differently. They must be filled using special augers aimed at the top hatch. In the shop, several new AGI Westfield and AGI Storm augers are available. Each one is described with which silos it works with and its function. Some are for filling, others for unloading. One model requires about 160 horsepower from the PTO. Another has its own motor and a large intake hopper. Operation is fairly simple. Position the auger under the trailer, aim it at the silo hatch, unload grain into the trough at the bottom, and the auger carries it inside. For unloading, place the self-powered auger under the outlet, press R, start the flow, and back a trailer under the spout where the grain pours out. It's a great option for anyone wanting a cheaper modular storage setup or even a temporary field silo. Finally, we have a seed production station. This machine lets you turn ordinary grain into seed material. You pour in wheat, for example, and collect ready seed for your drill on the other side. To operate, it requires seed treatment liquid, but interestingly, in the game it costs 0 and can be picked up from pallets for free. In practice, you place a trailer under the outlet, pour in wheat, the machine fills automatically, and shortly after you can collect seeds. In my test, the ratio was about 1 to 2. I poured in about 500 liters of wheat and got around 1,035 liters of seed material. It's a great feature for players who value realism and self-sufficiency, though purely economically it's faster and easier to just buy seeds in the shop. That's it for the equipment additions, but patch 1.11 also brings some fixes. The biggest technical change is DLSS support for RTX 40 and 50 series GPUs, improving graphics and performance. Workers and GPS and row crops were improved, fixing previous issues. A bug with saving large mod maps in the Microsoft Store version was fixed. Screen space reflection artifacts were reduced, so visuals should look better and more stable. Automatic gear shifting during group switching was improved, field boundary calculations on some mod maps were fixed, and swath visibility at a distance was increased, which really helps during harvest. In multiplayer, pallet issues were fixed. Now when strapped, contents display properly again. Errors with automatic updates were corrected, so download times are shown correctly, and hired workers with contracts can once again use the pressure washer. And that's it for patch 1.11. We received a record number of 18 new machines, including brand new brands and some very interesting features, plus a set of technical improvements. This is the largest free content pack so far in Farming Simulator 25. I'm very curious which of these additions you like the most and how they work for you, especially the containers, which were a bit moody for me. Thanks for watching.